Welcome back to Overhead Athletics. Joined today by Brandon. Brandon throws really well, but he's had an injury here. He's actually had an avulsion fracture. One of the doctors we work with quite a bit, Dr. Mackney, put a pin in there, pinned that avulsion down, and now we're, 8-9 months, something like that, out from surgery. And he's thrown well, and he's doing well. He's just coming off of a break, but he's a little sore through this area, and it's more tendon related. He gets a little bit of soreness as we extend his elbow and then actually extend the wrist and fingers. That places those structures on tension, and if we palpate through here, we can actually feel the tension right where he actually gets a little soreness and achiness. So what we're going to do is just a little bit of cross friction massage to relax some of the tissues, direct some blood flow to the area, and then we're going to do what's called functional massage, which is where we're going to actually stretch and lengthen the tissue with the application of massage to actually increase the ability of the tissues to slide and glide on each other, which is what they really need. Does he need a ton of flexibility through here? Maybe not so much. What he does need is the ability of those sliding surfaces to move really well on each other. So that's what we're going to work on here a little bit, and understand that this is pretty normal after what he's had done. They've actually cut through these tissues, separated them a little bit, put a screw in, and that tightens things up. There's scar tissue in the area that's going to allow the tissue to heal, but it's also going to decrease elasticity in the area, and we want to increase those sliding surfaces, get them moving on each other again because they haven't been moving on each other that much. So with cross friction massage, I'm going in a perpendicular direction to the fibers, and I'll just go really light, and I'm trying to stay away from his nerve here, his ulnar nerve, which can sometimes get a little irritated and sometimes move a little bit too much in that groove, and then I can actually apply more pressure here, and it's a dummy thumb technique, but I'm going back and forth across those tissues just as a little warm-up to get things moving. And he's going to let me know if anything gets too uncomfortable, if he feels any tingling, numbness, or shooting down into the fingers. This is a position that we often put the athlete in to do this type of massage because we can access these tissues very well. We can put the arm in positions that approximate what happens in the throw. So 90 degrees at the shoulder. We want them in a comfortable position, and we want them as relaxed as possible. And I'll just spend a little bit of time moving through, finding where I feel like there's more tension and just giving it a little cross friction. Cross friction's really nice. It's actually stimulating a little collagen synthesis in the area. I want nice smooth strokes, and then I'll actually move into functional massage, which involves lengthening and shortening of tissues while I apply a massage direction. So I'm actually going towards the elbow, so I'm approximating above, and I'm going to go through a lengthening technique. So I'm lengthening the angle of the elbow, lengthening some of these muscles that actually go across the elbow while I provide a directional force towards the elbow. And I'm using my thumb pad, not the tip of my thumb. It's going to be pointy and jabby. Because he feels tension when it's elongated, I'm working on that through the elbow, and then I'll work on it through the elbow and the wrist. I'm not taking them to their end range. I'm still moving where I can actually compress through the tissues a little bit. And then I'll move through pronation and supination because that pronator teres muscle attaches in that same area. And he actually feels the stretch more in supination than in pronation, which means that that pronator teres may play a little bit of a role there. And then we'll retest him after and see if he feels the same. Test, retest is always important. Now I'm using the pads of my fingers, and I'm hitting a more diffuse area. I'm pulling now away from the elbow, so I'm pulling distally as I apply my massage. So this is a different direction of application, but it's still a lengthening technique because I'm still lengthening the muscles. And I hit different directions. So now I'm giving a little valgus, just a little bit as I supinate him and lengthen those muscles. And then last, we'll give him the maximal lengthening while we apply a massage pressure. So we're actually just going to have him relax and then extend the fingers and the wrist while the elbow is going to remain mostly extended. And I'm feeling where I feel the most tension in applying massage through there. A lot of times we'll follow this up with Graston technique or instrument-assisted soft tissue mobilization. But I have to stay away from the elbow because you can see it's very prominent here. That's where the screw is. And it can get very sensitive through that area. So I'm making sure I'm staying away from the ulnar. I know where it's at. I've done my palpation. And now I'm just massaging through the tissues. Pin and stretch. And if he's sore, then I can actually shorten while I pin. So generally, I'm pin, stretch, relax, pin, stretch, relax, but I never remove my contact really with the skin. And then I can also do some shortening. So actually before throwing, I'll do a lot more shortening technique as a warm-up procedure. So this is really good for athletic trainers in the professional and college setting to do some actual shortening massage where they're shortening while they massage, improving the ability of the tissues to slide and glide on each other, and getting some neuromuscular relaxation, getting some blood flow increased in the area. And a lot of times we'll do some active motion with this. I'm not going to today because we actually threw, and he's just getting back into his throwing progression. How's that feel?
Good.
Nothing should be super tender, but at times you'll hit a tender spot. Sometimes you hang out there for just a little bit. Get a little more tender a lot of times around that medial epicondyle, around that bone there. And I really want to use my pads. I don't want to get pointy with my fingers. I want it to be comfortable. So that's functional massage for the medial elbow. In a throwing athlete who's had an avulsion fracture and an open reduction, internal fixation. The last thing we really want to do is always check and make sure the scar is moving three-dimensionally. Give it a little twisting force. See if there's any places, and we've worked on his scar quite a bit. So if you're working with an athlete, you want to see that this scar can twist, that it's not adhered down anywhere, and that it can glide proximally, distally, medially, and laterally at all aspects. His scar moves really well, and you want to be able to give him some torsional loads on it too. One thing to be careful of if he had Tommy John surgery is to avoid the ulnar nerve, because the ulnar nerve can come through here. A lot of times it's very sensitive, but after a lot of Tommy John surgeries and a lot of elbow surgeries, they move it in front of the medial epicondyle. Sometimes they use a fascial sling, which means they take some tissue and actually sling it in front to hold it. And sometimes that sling is adhered to the scar, and by pulling the scar too much, you can actually pull that out of the sling or disrupt its healing process a little bit. So he's pretty far out from surgery. I wouldn't have to worry about that, and he did not have any sort of ulnar nerve issues. So for him, we can finish up with just a little bit more cross friction to give us a little retest of our play and see how the tension is, and then we can see, is that any better?
Yeah, it feels better.
So it's a little bit better after doing the massage there. That's functional massage for the medial elbow. Give it a try. Hit the thumbs up button. If you like Brandon, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you guys in the next video.